Hey, man, what's going on, man? First thing first, man, I want to say, man, blessing to everybody who made it through this week, man. If you didn't make it through this week, I probably wouldn't be talking to you, man, but a lot of people did make it, man. A lot of people meeting their maker or meeting the baker or whatever you believe, man, but you made it through this week, and I thank you for supporting me and pulling up today. For those that pulling up late, man, I still thank you, man, for the likes and the shares. Man, appreciate it, man. Bombay Talk, 6 o'clock. I said I was going to sit back and talk to y'all because basically what I've been seeing all week, and it's just, sometimes you get them little insights. What's going on, JT? Sometimes you get them little insights, man, from watching stuff, and you just want to tell people, like, man, from what you see and what you done seen and how you not necessarily navigate life, man. What's going on, Kurtwood? Not necessarily how you navigate life, but how I done realized, like, if you don't get into this, you won't have a problem with that. But first thing first, man, my Bible out, man. If you don't know what I got going on, man, I practice African spirituality. I had no problem with God. I have no problem. That's why I say I want to thank God. Whatever you call the supreme being, God, Jehovah, Allah, Jesus, Olodumare, whatever you call him, I just want to say thank you to him, man, because really it's because of him that we make it, man. If you don't realize that, man, sooner or later, you're going to have to realize that it's not because of you. It's not because of nobody else other than the grace of the Father, man. The person that created us, his will in our life is what wakes us up in the morning. And I just want to thank him for calling us to wake up. But, man, my Bible out, man, my spiritual elder, man, he sent me some stuff, man. He sent me some nice stuff, man. So I said I was going to speak up on it, man, because a lot of people, I know a lot of people be in my inbox and they be talking to me about, like, the E5, and they want to talk to me about, like, the Orishas and who they want to go get reading and stuff. My Bible out name is Baba Fashea Shango Bakumbi. He is a man of the Orisha, man. The man is an elder, man, a great guy. I met him while I was in prison, and he just took a real brotherhood liking to me, man, and he been rocking with me ever since. So my Bible out, his name is Fashea Shango Bakumbi. I've been rocking with him for about 2.5, maybe 3 years. We've been knowing each other, and he's a real good elder. But he sent me some stuff, man. He sent me some good luck cream. If you believe in what I got going on, called Epere Orere, I think you can look him up on his website, on his Facebook. And we got a school, Opa-Locka. I know a lot of people be wanting to get readings done, and you want to get in touch and learn about E5, but these guys be scamming y'all and taking y'all money or whatever. You know what I mean? My Bible out name is, what's going on, see? My Bible out name is Fashea Shango Bakumbi. He's a real elder. He's a real Bible out, man. He'll do your reading for you. You can call him. He's official. I'm in there. So, he sent me this bath, a positivity bath, to shake a lot of that negativity off. You know what I mean? He sent me that. And he sent me this necklace, man. Not this one. I already had this one. He sent me this necklace, man. Beautiful necklace, man. I've been wanting this necklace for a very long time, man. He finally sent this to me. It is from a plant. I can't even say the name. I'll show it to you. These are the seeds of a plant. It's a real poisonous plant. And the core of the plant is poisonous. So if I eat this seed, it'll kill you. But it's all these little seeds, and they make necklaces out of them. And it's like and it's good luck. And it wards off negativity. And it's beautiful, man. But my Bible, I just sent it to him. I just got it today. Baba Fashe, I'm sending you a shout out. Man, you're going up. Man, thank you, Opa-Locka, man, for the Elay. We got a resort in Puerto Rico, man. You can come out there, get your spirituality on. And ain't nobody judging what you got going on spiritually. You can go out there and love Jesus, man. Because as long as what you're doing causes somebody to be, like, helped at the end of the day, if you consider yourself a Christian, but your kids scared of you, your wife hates you, your boss don't like the way you work, you get locked up all the time, but you consider yourself a Christian, you really ain't that good of a Christian. You know what I mean? But if you're the type of guy who abide by the laws, you pay people on time, you got good words and good thoughts for people, man, I don't care what religion you is, you could be a friend of me. And that's how, that's how I rock. I'm just, looking for good people, and that's how me and my Bible I rock. Man, I don't get in people's expression of religion. Spirituality like a big old ocean, and religion is like a cup. But, all right, today we said we wanted to talk about the power of words. Man, the power of words, man. Man, we could be blessed or stressed by the words that we use. I think all of us have had to learn that lesson one way or the other like with using our mouth. It might have been when you was a child. I remember when I was like 6, 7 years old, I called my mama a liar. She said the wrong thing about me. And I was like, man, you a liar. And she said, what? I said, you a liar. She said, hold on, let me call you daddy. So she called my daddy, and he came over, my daddy from the island. So he walked up to me, he said, what you call your mama? I said, she wasn't telling the truth on me, daddy. He said, no, what you call your mama? I said, no, she wasn't telling the truth on me. He said, what you call your mama? I said, I called her a lie, and before I could get the out, I said lie. Before I get the out, the man had slapped me, man. I don't know if he hit me with a closed fist. I don't know if it was an open fist. I don't know if it was a front hand, back hand. I don't know what it was, left or right. But I know after I rolled about 3, 4 times, he stood over me and he said, look, if you ever call your mama out her name, I'm going to come back and I'm going to kill you. And he walked out the house and left me there. And from that point on, I'm 37 years old. I was about 6. And for 31 years after that, I'm grown. I done knocked guys out. I done took people's stuff. I done went to prison. I done stabbed people and everything. And I still call my mama to this day, mommy. It's from that incident. I learned how to use my mouth when it came to her. So with our word, we could either be blessed or we could be stressed. And I watch people all the time with their words, like position themselves in places where they can't even get out, man. Like we meet people and we just flex and we cap and we be lying ourselves in $1 million situations, and they be done gave us $10,000 worth for whatever or $2,000 worth for whatever. Or when you in prison, you got the little young guy, he could cap his way into a $50 sack. He done capped his way up to a $75 store bag. But he ain't got no money, man. And he done lied himself into a situation where he gonna be stressed, man. He ain't gonna be blessed. But you also done seen people in prison and on the street. You done seen guys in prison who with the gift of gab, they was able to get behind one of them officers or get on a detail and they talk their way into $1,000. They was getting phones and everything. So your word can either bless you or they can stress you. But I ain't trying to tell you how to, talk or nothing like that. I'm just telling you, we just sitting back looking at how our words can bless us and stress us. Now, something I was telling somebody earlier this week was, man, we could lie so much that we could watch a person lie so much. Cause I played a game called Play a Fool to Catch a Fool. When I figure out, okay, this person lying to me, right? I don't tell them up front, man, you lying to me, you lying to me. I don't even get away from them. I sit back and we still be kicking it and I just be listening to them lie. And they just be lying themselves in circles. I be like, yeah, yeah. And they just be lying themselves in circles, just lying. They just lying. They just lying themselves, they just lying their ass off. And before you know it, they put themselves in a position where they got to tell the truth, man. They just got to tell the truth. And I be sitting there looking at the people like, man, so you really thought that you could just lie yourself away from the truth? You know what I mean? I used to lie, man. I used to lie my ass off, man. I think everybody went through that little stage in their life where they used to lie. But then, before I went to the joint, I realized that sooner or later you're going to run into somebody who know the truth and they're going to expose you. And the last thing you want to do is get exposed. So, you know what I mean? I never really spent much time coming up with ideas that weren't true. But I wish I had a guest for y'all today. I actually did, but she was on her way back from Mexico or something like that. And hopefully we can pull up next week. But, man, last week I most definitely enjoyed going to Simpson Road. Man, I'm most definitely enjoyed kicking it with my partner. It's been a couple years since I seen him. And one thing about me, man, I'll pull up, man. I was telling somebody the other day, man, I don't know what y'all thought. It wasn't even that big of an issue to me. I done had people inbox me like, boy, you went to the hood. And I'm looking at it like, boy, I don't know where y'all think I'm from. I mean, but, you know what I mean? I wasn't studying it like that. I don't think I looked like I was too scared. I mean, if I was, I didn't know it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to definitely be coming back out there, man, to kick it, boy. Because my partner Mario, he got a lot going on. He got music. Man, we sat up in the studio. Polo, they doing a part 2 to the movie. Hopefully I can get in that movie, man, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to crank up something with them, with a documentary or something, talking about guys like us who got locked up when we were young, did a lot of time, like the struggle for us getting out. But like I said, I just want to drop that note off about my partner, Yo Money, and what he got going on. Man, Yo Money, man, he most definitely bossing up, man. Y'all look him up. He got a couple, you can see him almost on every platform. But I know Amazon Prime, you can find him at for sure. I think Tubi, I think also, and a couple other ones. He got his movie placed in there. So y'all give him some streams, man. Y'all look at that movie, man. My son had been watching that slime movie. It's a pretty good movie, man. It's a pretty good movie. And the guy who made it, he is straight out of Georgia Chain Gang. Me and him did time together at Wheeler. I mean, we was getting money together. He's a good dude. But getting back to these words, man, and how our words can damn us, man. And how, I mean, I'm just pleading to everybody to tell the truth. That's what I always come out and tell people, man, just tell the truth. You know what I mean? For the most part, as long as I can tell the truth, I'm going to tell the truth. You know what I mean? I ain't going to lie to you long, man. I can't hold no lie too long. You know what I mean? It burned me. I done got caught down so many times. I done seen so many people lie themselves in the stabbings and murderings and losing the people that they love. You know what I mean? Just because they just wanted to keep a lie going. A lot of times them lies don't even be worth it, man. They don't even, for real, if you really care about people, man, tell them the truth, man. One of the worst things I done seen in life was people lying to people that they could have told the truth to. Have you ever been cool with somebody to the extent that you understood who they were and you weren't too mad at their mistakes if they made one, but because of them and just the way that they were wired before you met them, they felt like they had to tell you lies, or they felt like they had to, embellish the truth or spare your feelings. So they told you shit that wasn't true. And some of it don't play that shit. You know what I mean? I used to be the type of guy that if you lied to me, I ain't want to deal with you, period. Like, I ain't want to deal with nobody lied. But I had to get to the point where I realized that just because the person lied to you don't mean they bad. Some people just don't even know how to tell the truth. They good workers. You can, they ain't going to steal from you, but they just don't know how to tell the goddamn truth. If they had $75 in their pocket, when it's time for them to tell the story, they had $250. You know what I mean? If they was driving in a Regal, when it go time for them to talk and tell somebody the story, they're riding in a Lexus. You know what I mean? If they were, whatever, they just going to throw something on it. But they not bad people. Long story short, a lot of people destroy bridges and knock out relationships with people that they could have just been honest with and told them the truth. And the person might have accepted it, especially like loved ones, like when we in relationships with people. A lot of times, you could tell that girl the truth, or she could tell you the truth, and it won't even be an issue. But because we got this inset thing about telling a lie, man, we lose out on so much in our relationships, man. We lose out so much in our relationships. Me personally, I try to keep it too honest. And I think that's one of my flaws. You know what I mean? Now, man, I'm going to tell y'all some real shit while we on the relationship shit. Part of the maturity of a relationship for men, I don't know about for women, is the dedication in which it takes to be with that person. Like when you get up one morning and be like, man, I don't even like this motherfucker no more. But you say, man, I'm dedicated to the cause. Like being with this person for 5, 6, 7 years in spite of. Or being with this person for 2 or 3. Man, you'll mature so you'll learn how to speak. You'll learn how to, because everybody got something that they can rub off on you and teach you. Now imagine being with somebody for 30, 40 years and how they refine you, how they'll polish up your character. So that's why you look for somebody who can polish up your character. But getting back to this honesty shit. Getting back to this kicking it, how our words can bless us or stress us, right? We were talking about people losing out on loved ones because they just had this lying spree in them. And I know all of us can sit back in our life and look and tell that there was a time where we said the wrong thing and lost out on a grave opportunity. Matter of fact, we got this, everybody sitting around this I never told on nobody challenge. You see how your words could bless or stress you? If I told y'all my story of how my best friend told on me and then 30 days later told on himself and still got me sentenced to 20 years. You know what I mean? So he went through life. Can you imagine a person going through life feeling like he got his best friend 20 years in prison? Now he might not be feeling the way I'm feeling about it because I don't even really think about it. But can you imagine looking in the mirror and, and especially in this day and age where guys are like, man, I don't tell, I ain't snitching, and know that you told on somebody for real, for real? Do you know what type of stress that is, what type of curse that is on your mind? You know what I mean? Jay-Z said, now you know it's bad when your sister is mad, when your kids got to grow up like this, my dad. The labeling of a snitch is a lifetime scar. You always be in jail, nigga, just minus the bar. That's a curse, man. How your words can curse you, man. How you could just say the wrong thing about people. All right, how about this? Since we talking about how words can bless or stress you. You ever had those people who just had, like, I believe in energy. I believe in, curses. I believe in prayers that are powerful. I believe in people praying over stuff over your life and making it, where you are untouchable. I believe in guardian angels, all that. Now, can you imagine you talking about the wrong person and you don't know what type of prayer has been put on that person? You don't know what type of blessing be on that man's life. You don't know what this guy got going on. and you just talking crazy about, and I hear people doing this all the time, just gossiping and slandering people's name. First thing they thinking about is the worst part about them. They coming up with ideas that are not like them. They assassinate people's character. And then you wonder, like, because we believe in karma now. All of us on this show, we done talked about karma. Everybody that be on here, we been talking about manifestations. Like, so what you say out your mouth, you can make happen. So if you making bad stuff for people happen out your mouth, what's the karma for making bad stuff for people happen out your mouth? People gonna be saying the same stuff about you. So when you getting talked about and lied on, think about the people that you talked about and lied on. If it's been a while since you did it, stop doing it more, and it'll just soak up, and you won't have to worry about that negative karma, that bad, skillful, words that you were using. You know what I mean? But if it's, something that you did like last week, I mean, that should be a lesson for you to learn that the best thing for you to do in a lot of situations is just, the tongue is a powerful weapon. The tongue can, listen, I was talking today about how the tongue can bless or stress you, man. How you can sit up there and let me show you another way of how you can be stressed by words. The words of others. Have you ever paid so much attention to somebody, be it a lover or a family member, and the things that they said created the way that you thought? So if they said that a certain type of shoe was lame, you didn't wear it. Or if they said that a certain type of car was hip, you went out and tried to buy it. You know what I mean? And so you listening to the words of others, and it's stressing you. It's causing you to feel like, man, I got to be like them. And you just listening to them. The best thing for it to do is train ourselves to hear words that we want the manifestation from. Good words. That's what affirmations are about. Like getting up early in the morning saying, man, I'm blessed, de-stressed, and moving for progress. Or just finding something that you could say daily about yourself, like I'm industrious. I remember when I was in prison, I used to write down that I wanted to be industrious. For maybe a year and a half, it was big on my heart, like I wanted to be industrious. And I would write it down. I would say it as an affirmation. I want to be industrious. I want to be industrious. I want to be industrious. I'm going to be industrious. I'm going to be industrious. And man, one day, man, I looked up and I had like 3 jobs and I was going everywhere and I was tired. And I was like, man, I'm so tired from ripping and running, doing everything. And then something in the back of my head said, you actually be industrious. Just the blessing of being industrious. So our words can bless or stress us. Which brings me to another point. Being prepared for the manifestation of our words. Like running around and saying, I want this car, 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 I want this car. And sooner or later you do get this car, but you're not ready to take care of it. Now, somebody told me years ago, they told me an idea called being responsible with your blessing. The act of being responsible with your blessing happens at the inception of the blessing. The minute that you realize that you want something, you should be preparing yourself to be responsible for it. Like a woman. It was taught to me like with a woman. We sit up here and we pray for these women, and in our mind we be seeing the world that we want. We want her. We want this lady. She's the queen. We can't wait to have her. This is our lady. This is the one we love or whatever. And then you get her and she come with, like if you want a boss broad, you got to understand, she probably going to be bossy. Bossy as hell. If you want a star broad, like one of these broads who everywhere, like she just the baddest of the baddest, IG model type girl, you going to have to take what come with the IG model girl. Like guys in her inbox, people looking at her when she walk past. If you an insecure guy, then you probably don't need, you probably not going to be that responsible with them star girl. And that's the type of stuff you got to think about. If whatever type of woman that you want or whatever type of blessing you want, you need to try to be responsible for it. Because ain't no need in praying for something that you can't handle. You pray for a boat and you get it and you can't handle the maintenance. You pray for a house and you get it and you can't pay the mortgage. You see what I'm saying? I mean, but we consider it a blessing from God. Last thing I want to say, and I don't even know if this last, but last thing I want to add is it's a Bible scripture where it talk about how we pray for things and we don't get it. I think it's in Hebrews or James, where it talks about how we pray for things and we don't get it because we pray amiss, trying to satisfy our lust or whatever. I got to look it up. If you inbox me later on, I give you the exact scripture. I don't have my Bible near me. But I know it pretty well. But it talks about how we pray and we don't get what we deserve or what we ask for. And that has a lot to do with our words, man. We get on our knees and we pray and we say, Lord, Lord, I'm just for the Christians. Lord, Lord, I really want this. I really want to, the guys in prison. I really want to get out. 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 But we get on the phone and we tell our family, boy, Stowe Day coming that week. But I'm going to need that money. I'm going to be here. You see what I'm saying? So, what you saying out your mouth You know what I mean? The Bible say God is not mocked. What you sow, you going to reap, right? So if you sowing words like, I want to be here Thursday, or it's chicken week, I need to be here for chicken week, or hamburger hot dog week, but you getting on your knee praying and saying you want to go home, bro, you confusing your angels, man. You confusing God. God don't know what you want to do. Out your mouth, you saying you want to go home, but then out your mouth again, you saying you want to be there Thursday, or you want to be there Tuesday so that you can get some wham wham. You know, so in 1 minute you praying for freedom, the next minute you praying for $60. So your mouth got to line up with what you truly want. You know what I mean? That I was also told that when your mind is ready and your mouth is set, your body will go, man. They say guard your mouth, for out of it flow the issues of life, man. Out your heart, I mean. And we speak from our heart. All the issues of life come from our mouth. And a lot of times, I mean, I think we just need to practice not necessarily wording things, but one of the keys of like the power of words is knowing when not to speak. That's hard for all of us, because all of us think we got something to say, especially me. Everybody think they got something to say. Everybody want to say something. I know people that can't handle silence. They hear silence, they automatically got to talk. They driving in a quiet car, got to cut some music on and say something. What's going on? Boy, that boy Clayco. Yeah, I'm talking to people about the power of words, man, how we can use our words to bless us or stress us, man. And one of the things I'm talking about right now is being silent with your words. You know what I mean? Like knowing when to be quiet. Sometimes we talk ourselves in the situation. When I was young, I used to talk myself into some of the worst situations, man. I would just think I had all the game, and I game myself into some of the worst situations. I'd be, yeah, I know what I'm saying. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, the power of words, man. The power of words. We got to know when to be quiet, man. I'll ramble. My girl tell me sometimes, she be like, look, I be having what you saying the first time, and then you go talk about it 2-3 more streets up. You know what I mean? So we be right there on Peachtree. Before you know it, we all the way out there by the damn arena, man. We looking at the Mercedes-Benz sign. You know what I mean? Because I won't let it go. You know what I mean? And so I'm learning that sometimes it's just good to be quiet and pray. That's another point I want to bring up with the power of words. Using our words to bless not only ourselves, but others, man. Think about this. Whatever religion you're in, or even if you don't have a belief system, look at the people when you're walking down the street or when you're driving, or when you laying in your bed, just envision people that you know, and in your mind, shoot prayers to them. If you can say something to them nice, say something to them nice. If you're walking past somebody at work and that you know, just look at them and say, hey, man, bless you, man. Hey, man, bless you. I mean, use your mouth. You know what I mean? The bless, you can either be a blessing or a stressing with your mouth. Don't use your mouth every time you see somebody. It's like, hey, man, can I have? Or, hey, man, I don't like you. Or, you know what I mean? Another way to bless people with our mouths, man, with our sound, is stop being so sarcastic. That's hard for me, but stop being so sarcastic. It was told to me before that sarcasm is a dumb person's way of paying you a compliment. You see somebody with a nice pair of shoes, they just got a nice hat, or they just got married, or whatever just good happened for them. You see them, and the first thing on your mind is, man, that was nice. But you can't bring it to yourself to say, hey, man, that's a nice pair of shoes. Or, man, I heard you singing yesterday. That was a great song. We walk up to the person, be like, man, them shoes ain't nothing. You think them shoes fly? Man, don't nobody want them dusty old Jordan. Ain't nobody want. Or you walk up to, hey, man, I heard you sing yesterday. You don't sound like Usher. And that's, you know, sometimes people don't know how to read that. I'm sure you done been out there and did something, you know what I mean, that you thought was spectacular, and you were waiting on the crowd to tell you something. And then somebody came up there trying to be sarcastic. They were trying to pay a compliment, but they offended you. You know what I mean? And so you don't want to be that type of person, because that offense come back to you. If you believe in karma, you know that offense come back to you. But it's all about being a blessing and not a stressing with your words. How to use our words to bless each other and edify each other. Man, again, silence is a key. When I was in prison, I used to take maybe 2 days out the year. Usually it was at the beginning of December or the end of November. And I would be silent for them 2 days, man. I wouldn't say nothing. I did it long for like 7 days. I was quiet for 7 days, man. And one of the things I learned when I was quiet for them 7 days was that a lot of time we waste our words, man. A lot of time we just have time to pass, so we get with somebody and we just talk to talk. Like we just start talking just to talk. And I was like, I ain't want to be like that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be one of the people that just talk to talk. I wanted the words that I say to help somebody. Even if they wasn't listening, I wanted somebody, whoever listened to what I was saying, I wanted them to say, man, that dude said something, man. That dude said something, man. Then the other thing I learned from being quiet for 7 days was not only do we waste our words sometimes just having fun, just talking, a lot of times we don't actually hear the people that's talking to us. And a lot of us are more of us are guilty of that than anything else. Just not even hearing the people that's talking to us because we don't quiet our thoughts. Have you ever been talking to somebody and they was your friend or your girl or whoever, your family member, and while you were talking to them, they said something that you didn't necessarily like? And automatically, once they said that, your brain started calculating what you were going to say next to disprove what they said or to prove them wrong or to straighten out what they said. And you didn't hear nothing else they said. They talked for 2-3 more minutes. But because they said something, yeah, selective listening, because they said something that you didn't necessarily agree with, your brain just clicked. And you didn't even know, in 2 sentences, he might have took everything he said back. But because you didn't listen, you shot back. He looking at you like, man, you never emptied out your thought process. Listening ain't just being quiet. Listening is being receptive to what the person is saying. Listening is also spiritual. Because in a sense, you have to be sympathetic to what the person is saying. None of us understand each other to the T. But what we can do is try to understand each other to the T. So when I'm talking to somebody, I got to look at the angle from which they come from. Like younger people, when I'm talking to young people, I most definitely take consideration their age. I know that a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old don't think like I think. A 15-year-old don't think like I think. So let's say you talking to a 15-year-old. One of the best things for you to think about is this. If you gave yourself $1,000 when you were 15, what would you have bought? I mean, I can't think of what I'd have bought. And I really don't want to say what I'd have bought when I was 15. I was bad. But, you know, when I was 9 or 10 years old, if you gave me $1,000, I'd have bought a bunch of toys and candy. So when you're talking to a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old, put yourself in the mindset of, you know, he would buy candy with all his money. So I can't talk to him like a person who got my same sense at 37. Or you look at the person and say, well, that person got locked up when they were 12 and now they 25. And he about to go home tomorrow. I'm most definitely not going to tell him to go to a church. I'm going to tell him to keep God first and try to do what's right. But go experience life, because you were 12 when you got locked up. You're 25 now. You're going to want to go out there and experience life. Don't do anything to come back to prison. But, you know, go experience life, man. I pray that you don't get locked up or catch AIDS or something like that. But go have you some fun. But you got to be sympathetic. You got to try to put yourself in the shoes of the people that you're talking to if you're trying to edify them or build them up with words. Because the power of words, man, we can make or break people with our words. Man is doing one or two things, the way I was taught. You're either building or you're destroying. With your words, you are either building the people around you or you're destroying something about them. Just because you're destroying don't mean that you're destroying in a negative sense. Because you could be destroying the self-esteem issues that they have. You could be destroying the spiritual blindness that they have. Destruction don't automatically mean wrong. And just because you building in a person's life with your words don't mean you're building something positive. Because you could be building up a trust in you and you're not a trustworthy person. You could be building up walls that the person already had up and causing them to be even worse. I heard a song the other day said, you don't want to be nobody else's blame. And that's how I really feel. I don't want to be the reason why somebody don't believe in hope for tomorrow. I don't want to be the reason why somebody don't believe that there's good people out there, no matter what color. I don't want nobody to believe. I don't want to be that guy that, you know, crushed a person's belief in black men. I don't want to be the guy that crushed a person's belief in ex-cons. I don't want to be the guy who crushed a person's belief in a man who wear chains like me and believe in African spirituality. I don't want to be the guy who crushed your belief in guys from Opa-Locka. I don't want to be the guy who crushes that. I don't want to be the blame for you doing something wrong. I don't want somebody saying, because he did this to me, I think like this. I don't want to be that blame. So with my actions and my words, I try to edify. I don't always, man. And for anybody who I might have offended, you know what I mean, because I do that. I'm going to admit that, you know, a lot of us don't want to admit that we offend people. Anybody I might have offended, know that it was not in my heart. If I ever offended you and wanted to, you knew. You knew. But if I offended you and it wasn't my selected choice of action, I want to apologize, man. And I most definitely enjoyed my time with you. Y'all know I don't kick it long on this show. Maybe 30 minutes, 25, 45. But again, the power of words, man. Let's try to use our word to build people up, man. Let's try to, pray for people. I mean, people going through stuff, man. It's so much death and loss around us, man. But at the same time, there's so many blessings around us, man. So on the days that you feel down about your life, man, find somebody else who you think is down too and try to build them up. Get lost in building somebody else up with your words and not tearing people down. Man, the world is so full of hatred. The world is so full of mediocrity. The world is so full of unethical thinking. The world is so full of people who love things and use people to get them. The world is so full of slander and gossip. Why not fill the world? Why not be somebody who try to fill the world with love, who try to fill the world with support, who try to fill the world with prayer, who try to fill the world with all the things? Why not be rare, man? All of us talk about how extraordinary we are. If you extraordinary, you're going to go to extraordinary yard. If you feel like you're different than everybody else, you're going to be doing different stuff than everybody else, man. Regardless of what happens. Sometimes, man, I be wanting to be just as dirty as the rest of them. I promise you, I be wanting to be just as dirty as the rest of them. I be wanting to pick up and say this. I be wanting, man, especially like the petty stuff, man. Like I be wanting to get petty. Man, you got people out here don't even know you and they formulated all type of ideas. That's another way that we destroy each other with words, with slander. Talking about people we don't even know. Oh, man, that hurt. When people don't know you and they talk about you. If you one of them people who can talk about people that you don't know, man, you need to just go ahead and block me. Like if you could just talk about people, like you see somebody walking in the room like, boy, I don't like that nigga. Oh, man, I don't fuck with her. If you one of them type of people that can do that, man, you need to go and block me. I mean, you can still watch the live, you know what I mean? But you need to block me. Like you don't need to be in my inbox. We don't need to be talking to each other because you're a terrible person. I can't look at somebody and bring myself to think something negative about it. I could be cautious. I ain't green. Like, y'all know me. I ain't green now. But I most definitely ain't no hater. I think everybody got potential to do good. Okay, Fip. Yeah, but, man, let's try to use our words to make better for everybody, man, and not worse, man. Let's try to use our words to bring strength to people, man. And before we go, I want to give a shout out, man, to them folks out there, man, that's fighting. That's fighting that Breonna Taylor fight, man. I ain't no, political guy. You know what I mean? I got my own views on life. But I believe that, man, everybody should be held accountable for what they do. And that blatant injustice like that is, like, whack as fuck. It's something that we don't need to, like, our kids to see. You know what I mean? A human life, man, is not worth no amount of money. You can't give me $2 million for my child life. You can give me $2 million, but for the life of anybody, $2 million not worth a human life. If you believe that, man, you got a lot of living to do. You know what I mean? Or, you probably going to die for some money too. But long story short, man, let's just keep fighting. Let's just keep praying, man. Let's try to change the world one person at a time. If you can change your mind, you can change somebody else's mind. But with our words, man, let's recognize the power of our words, man. We can free people. We can bind people. We can bind situations. We can, we can agree on things with our words. We can disagree with things with our words. We can change things with the words out of our mouth, man. And let's don't forget the power of our words, man, every day. Don't forget the power in silence, man. Don't forget the power in right words. It's not always about what we do. It's about doing it the right way. You know what I mean? So I want to let y'all know that I thank you for the support. Everybody who showed up on it live, everybody who watches. Thank you for the Bombay Talk ideas, man. Thank y'all for giving me ideas. Thank y'all for helping me out, man. For everybody in my life, I want to say I love y'all. It's a lot of great people that I deal with, and I just want to be great like y'all, man. I'm just trying to be just like y'all, man. I don't know what you feel about me. I don't know what nobody out there think. But, man, I'm just striving after greatness, man. If I can die and somebody say I helped change their life, not necessarily to change it. I don't consider myself a saint. I'm just one of them guys who just try and do the right thing, man. I'm addicted to what I do, man. I'm married to my belief system, and I'm just trying to be faithful, man. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to do things morally right. I ain't doing it for a gift. I ain't doing it for somebody to pat me on my back. I'm doing it so that when I die, I can pass on this energy, man, because that's what people did for me. They gave me positive energy in a negative place. In the darkest room, there's always a red light. I don't care where you at. In the darkest room, there's always a red light. Seek to find that red light. Seek to be that red light. And I promise you, the light will become you, and you'll knock out all the darkness, man. So I'm out of here, man. I pray that y'all folks be blessed, man. Danny, I see you. You're kind of late. We talked about the power of words. I know you know about the power of words, man. You can speak things into existence, man. You can say, I'm going to be whatever. and keep saying it. Let's look at T.I. T.I. said, I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king. Everybody was like, man, bro, you ain't no king. You just a rapping dude, man, you ain't no, man, 3-4 years later, man, what we call him? We call him the king, man. You know what I mean? So you can speak things on yourself, man. You know what I mean? You can put it out there into the universe, man, with the right type of heart, the right type of sacrifices, man, and you get back what you want. That's the chief point of manifestation. When you hear people talking about the law of attraction, it ain't about what you just desire. It's about what you speak. You can speak things into motion, man. You can just be saying stuff, and the right people hear it. I mean, and not just in on earth. I mean, like the right people in heaven hear it. You know what I mean? You can say the right words and God hear it. And before you know it, he say, man, I really, 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 really like what you said. I really, really like what you said, and I want to see that thing go up. But this is really the motion, man. I mean, we just going to be trying to empower everybody. If you can do something tomorrow or today to help somebody with your words, do that. Look at somebody. I mean, just every day, just look what's going on, Lucky. Just look at your life every day and look to see for somebody. Look and see somebody who you can help with your words. You ain't got to always pay somebody or give somebody some food or go out and do these grandiose acts. You can sit down with somebody and talk to them and be just as beneficial for them as if you bought them a sandwich. Because, man, words can change. They can change a person's life, man. They can change. I'd have heard some people, man, say things to me that just changed the way I looked at life, man, and helped me be the person that I am today. But power of words, man. We can bless or stress ourselves with words, man. Before you speak, man, think about if you stressing yourself or you gonna be blessing yourself with what you saying. If it's not what you want out the situation, don't say it. Sometimes we get into a relationship with somebody and the whole time we in a relationship together, we saying, oh, she gonna cheat on me. Oh, she gonna leave me. Oh, this gonna happen. Oh, this gonna, oh. And the whole time you just saying it. Never speak a positive word over your relationship. And when that relationship failed, you think it was on the mate because they did something wrong. No, you really just didn't speak it up. You know what I mean? Sometimes, man, listen, sometimes God looking for you to say the right word. Whatever deity you believe in, sometimes he is waiting for you to say the right word. Not the right words, but the right word. Sometimes that word is, I give up. I don't think I can do it no more. Sometimes that's the words, man. Or sometimes the word is, I'm going to keep going. It all depends on God, man. It all depends on the universe. Sometimes all they want to hear you say is, man, I'm going to let somebody else do it. But you got to be in tune with your situation to know what time it is. So, man, just think about the words that you use, man. When you talking to, like, stepson. I got a son who's not my biological son. And I got this problem with calling him stepson. And that's not helping our situation because this is my partner. This is my H-Boone Coon. We rock with each other hard. But I need to just start calling him son. It's the power of words. Not because I want him to be my flesh and blood son, but because I want that relationship with him. And the only way to have that relationship with him is to speak it into existence. So I got to stop calling him stepson. It's just like using the word we instead of me. Sometimes you got to use them words. Yeah, and before you use any word, make sure you wet your palate with some warm water or something. Bombay talk. Yeah, but motivational speakers get paid. Yep, motivational speakers get paid off their words. Man, you'd be surprised, man. You can be blessed or stressed with the power of words, man. I remember I studied words, man. I went through the dictionary and would write words. Now I got a big old pamphlet full of just words I used to look up in the dictionary because I knew that with my words, like I would be judged. I knew that by the stuff that I said out my mouth, people would look at me and be like, man, that dude's smart or he's stupid. Because I know, I mean, have you ever listened to somebody who was dumb and didn't know what they were talking about, but they were lying, and you just listen to him and you sitting there like, man, he don't even know what he's saying, man. He ain't got no type of, you know what I mean? And I just didn't want to be one of them type of guy. I wanted to speak like I knew something. So I read a lot of words. So people look at me now like, boy, you just the smartest dude in the world. Man, I read all this stuff in prison, man. If I wasn't in detention reading the encyclopedia, I was in YDC reading a dictionary. You know what I mean? If I wasn't, I was just a bad little dude, man. I used to read, man. I studied, man. I remember, I remember what his name was, man. He was a preacher, man. I ain't know the Bible at all, man. I ain't know the Bible. I was in the church. I was singing, y'all. This couple years, early 20s, 23, 24, I was, man, fire for God. But it was the preacher, man. I forgot his name, man, little short dude. And he was up there, and we was sitting on the stage, and he looked at us, and he was like, man, these guys up here on the stage, if you don't know nothing, they know the Bible. They study it. Go ask them. And I was looking at it like, damn, I don't even know the Bible. I ain't know the Bible to save my life. I had just really started reading it. I swear to God, I didn't know too much of shit about the Bible. So I was like, damn, this man done put us on Front Street. People gonna start asking me all these questions about the Bible, man. So I started reading the Bible, man. I literally would read the Bible. Listen, man, guys that know me tell you, man, I used to read the Bible like guys read like Slam magazine, man. I was on it, man, like the King magazine. And all I did was sit in my room and read. I know I read it about 4 times right after that. I'm talking about 4 straight times. Back to back to back to back to back. Because I ain't want nobody coming to me and asking me no questions and I couldn't answer them, man. I always been the type of dude that'll read, man. So, I mean, but it changed me. So now when I'm talking to people and stuff, like, I can relate to you using the Bible. Like if we talk, I can be like, yeah, man, you know, like Solomon did, or like Samson, or like Joseph, you know, the story of Joseph. Because everybody know the Bible in the South. Everybody, just the Bible Belt, everybody know the Bible. So I was taught to, you know, use it to speak. Yeah, he put me on Front Street. I forgot his name, little short dude, short, dark-skinned dude, man. He used to be Samuel Elliott. Preacher Elliott. Bishop Elliott. You got to remember Elliott. He was mean and he would talk crazy to you, but he was like, look, them guys up there on that stage, you can talk to them. They know the Bible. And I was like, damn, I don't know damn word in this motherfucker. I don't know who did what. I don't know Leviticus. I can't tell you what. I knew a little bit, but I ain't know enough to lead nobody. And man, within about 4 or 5 years, you know, Smith, when I was at Smith had them, the Bible cliques and stuff. It was a gangland, but people that were there knew that Smith had a big old church gang and everything. They were crazy. But they would be arguing about stuff in the Bible. I used to be in the middle of it like, nah, Peter said this and Paul gonna do this. And I used to listen to the folk. And I was, man, that was crazy. But I learned. I do remember. Yeah. He was a great guy, man. It was a lot of great people, man, back then, man. It was a lot of great. And I just wanted, like, I was raised by great people, man. And they used their word to edify. They didn't use their word to tear each other down. Like, I ain't never seen this much hate in my life. I'm talking about, I was in prison for 20 years, man. And there were haters everywhere. But I got out here, man, and the hate is serious. This thing is like on 10 at all times. I'm talking about you could post something on your Facebook like, man, I'm so happy I got my daughter. And people will hate on that. You could be like, man, I'm happy I got a job. And people will hate on that. Why is you got guys, man. Whoa, this thing. Out here, man, these folks is serious, man. This hate thing, and that's why I'm asking y'all, use your word to build people up. Don't use your word to tear people down. Don't get caught up in that trend, that popular trend, gossiping. You hurt people. You destroy people's heart. You make people feel like they can't trust nobody. You know, don't get into that popular sport like slander and stuff like that. I mean, you steady telling people what they need to be doing, how they need to be stop smoking cigarettes, and how they need to stop having sex with people. But you out here talking crazy, man. The Bible talk about that too, man. Who would beat people up? Hey, man, that boy G, man, that's my partner. We grew up together. Me and G grew up together. That's Gregory Bryant. We grew up. I got this scar on my face on his birthday party. Got cut with a box cutter. I don't even want, the power of words, man. The power of words, man. I'm going to tell y'all how karma work. I'm going to let y'all in on some stuff, how karma work. I really don't even like talking about my past like that. But I'm going to tell y'all how karma work. Man, I was a young, crazy dude, 15, 16. I would rob anybody. If somebody watching this just remember me back when I was a kid, I would rob anybody. You know, I was wild. I was coming from Miami. I came to Georgia. I was robbing anything moving. I went to prison for armed robbery, carjacking, 2 pistol possessions, and a robbery. At 16, they gave me 20 years. I was wild. And so I'm running around, and I'm trying to rob these people, man. Long story short, I ain't here to tell nobody no crazy stories and get locked up. But I shot somebody, man. I shot somebody in the face, and they took off running. I don't believe I killed them. I'm not going to claim nobody. I don't even believe in no shit like that. But I did it. And, man, it was maybe 7, 8 months later, man. 7, 8, no more than 9 months later, I got cut in the face. That was my first time just knowing that karma was real. Like, I shot the dude in the face, and, like, less than a year later, I got cut in the face. I was like, whoa. This shit is for real. Like, people, you think like you could spit on somebody and you won't get spit on back, or you could talk shit about somebody and people won't talk shit back to you. At that moment, I knew that what I did came back to me. So I needed to start watching what I was doing. And it took years for me to really get the hang. Yeah, it's for real, man. Listen, man, I ain't always knew everything. I ain't always been on the right track. I ain't always, just knew all the answers and stuff. You know what I mean? I was wrong at one time too. But one thing I do know for a fact is, if you do something to somebody, it's coming right back. Yeah, energy is a cycle, man. Ain't no way. God said what you sow, you gonna reap. It's called the law of reciprocity. Whatever you make happen for somebody, God gonna make happen for you. That's the law. It's a law called the law of reciprocity. It's in the Bible. Now, in every other place, it's called karma. It got different little names for it, but cause and effect, whatever you want to call it. But it's all the same, man. If you do something to somebody, God gonna make sure it happens. It's a balance. It's a balance. If you lie to somebody, somebody got to lie to you. If you steal from somebody, somebody got to steal from you. You got to feel everything you put out, because this ain't nothing but God experiencing himself from an individual standpoint. That's all your life is. God experiencing himself from an individual standpoint. God is on the inside of you, experiencing light, warmth, smell, touch. He's experiencing life through you. So if you do something to somebody, he got to experience it being done back to him. That's how he would talk to me. It's the experience. It's like it's a feel thing. You do it to somebody, got to get done back to you. You say it to somebody, got to get said back to you. That's just the way it works. So let's try to use our word to edify each other, man. On Facebook, man, I got to give y'all boys some credit, man. Some of y'all got some of the most inspiring posts, man. My fiance be like, you just stay on the phone looking at Facebook. I don't be looking at girls and stuff. Man, some of y'all got some real inspiring posts, man. Y'all be doing some real fly stuff, man. I be looking at you with your family. I be looking at y'all living, smiling, working out, doing the stuff y'all do. The only thing in my mind, I be thinking, man, these guys come from the same background I come from, man. I ain't trying to do better than these guys. I'm trying to do just as or just a little bit more. Man, we need to try to just inspire and edify each other and build each other up with our words. But that's about it, man. I ain't going to drag y'all too much longer, man. Thank y'all for pulling up to the Bombay Talk this week, man. Big B's, man. You know what I mean? No gang banging, man. It's Big B for Bombay Talk, man. We riding today, man. Next week, we'll probably try to do something big for y'all, have somebody special on. But if not, man, I have a great topic for you. Hopefully I didn't bug y'all or bore y'all to death with my words, man. But let's try to use our words to edify each other. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. I'm out of here. Everybody who shows some love, I wish love come back to you. I pray that y'all have a wonderful weekend, have a blessed week. I pray that your family be strengthened. I pray that you be blessed on earth and on heaven, man. I pray that you feel the love of God and the love of the host of heaven, man. I'm out of here, man. Don't be stressed, man. Be blessed.